I remember when I was in my third year of Bible college, we had a pastor speak in chapel, and I can't remember his name, but he was speaking on having a personal mission, personal mandate, or mission statement, and he had his passage of scripture that he always kind of applied to his life, that it was a mission statement for him. So I never thought a whole lot of it, and I thought it was neat, but I wasn't just going to get there and just pick some passage of scripture. I wanted it to be, a God thing. So I was home because I had a blood clot in my leg in March of that year, and I had to head home for recovery and try to keep up my studies from home. So I remember I was doing my devotions one day, and I read a proverb a day. I always did. Proverb day, every day, like according to the date. So September 1st, we Proverbs 1. So this one day, it was the 16th, I would assume, of April. By the time I was reading this, could have been May. And I decided to just read Psalm 16. So opened it up, read it, and it was just like it just jumped off of the page to me. I read it before, I'm sure. Never really, clicked or anything before. I liked it, but I find that with the word that you can read it once, you can read it 50 times, and then you just read this the next time, and it's just like, wow, where'd that come from? It's just something new all the time. So when I read that, I remembered this pastor, and I felt, this is my mission statement, Psalm 16. And 3 words in that three words in that psalm have been reverberating in my brain for years and years, and it's in pleasant places. And so, I've kind of thought on that a lot, just trying to figure out, what does that mean for me? And I always, kind of thought, well, it had to mean that like everything is going great and there's no trouble and everything is pleasant. But that was not the case for me, for my life. So, not that I had a horrible life, but it was just some battles that I've had to go through, and difficulties. God has seen me through. And so I was at a service in Bay Roberts. Friends of ours had church out there. And I was at a service, and I can remember the Lord speaking to me and saying that a pleasant place is wherever you are with me. Like, meaning wherever I am with Jesus, that's a pleasant place. I could be in the midst of horrific tragedy or pain. I can be in the midst of all of that, but still be in a pleasant place when Jesus is the person that I go to. He's my anchor. He's the one that will hold me and help me through that. And so it really just radically changed my perspective on, trying to seek that pleasant place and trying to find that pleasant place in my life. And like I said, I haven't, let me go back. Growing up, I had such a great childhood. It was very quiet. The childhood was very quiet too. We had a loving family. I don't remember any major things happening. Even when my dad ended up with bone cancer, I was 5 at the time, and so I don't really recall much about that time. where I was so young. I do remember him having a cane, having a cast on, but not a whole lot. And so, of course, he was healed. So I was pretty blessed and fortunate to have the upbringing that I did. And even to the point where I was kind of, sorry, I had a phone call, so kind of had to go for a second. Anyway, so I think I was saying that, so I had a good childhood and everything. I think my first major storm was in March of 96 when I ended up with a blood clot, major, extensive blood clot. So that was my first storm. And that started, and I'm not saying this is like my entire life or like a series of things, but from that time, I can look back at many storms, many difficulties, much pain that I've had to battle through. And having said that, I've had some many pleasant things in my life too. Joy, great times. So it's not like my whole life is this horrible thing. It's definitely not. But I've seen God working through certain storms in my life that I've never thought I'd ever be able to get through. And so, looking back at those times, circumstantially, it would probably not look like a pleasant place. But looking back and seeing that during those times is when I would cling to Jesus even more. And that's where I felt the peace, the joy, and all that would pass understanding. So I actually remember a very difficult time in my life I was going through. And I could just picture myself just clinging to the cross, like, at the base of the cross, and then just clinging onto it, hugging it, basically. Like that's what was keeping me from really letting this take control and tear me down. So anyway, just saying all that to say that if you are going through some difficult times, and I've heard so many people since COVID, it's almost like our lives are like life before COVID and life after COVID. So I've just heard so many people that have gone through so much and going through so much right now. And it's crazy how the enemy is just attacking and just trying to tear people down because he knows he's a loser. He knows his time is short. So he's pulling all the stops. But what we need to remember is that our only hope, our only peace, our only joy is found in Jesus. And when we can get to that point in our lives and realize that, we're nothing without him, we'll find ourselves in a pleasant place. So I'm just going to read Psalm 16 now for all of those that may be going through a difficult time. This, in my version here, New King James, the heading of it is the hope of the faithful and the Messiah's victory. So we have hope, and the Lord is victorious, and he will give us victory in our lives. So I'm going to read this out to you now. This psalm has carried me through so much. And I encourage you to find a verse, find a passage of scripture, a chapter, whatever, that really speaks to you, that could be like a mandate in your life, something that you can anchor to, that when you're going through a rough time, you just read that. I remember my grandmother's favorite psalm was Psalm 91, and that's a beautiful psalm too. So I'm reading Psalm 16. Preserve me, O God, for in you I put my trust. O my soul, you have said to the Lord, you are my Lord. My goodness is nothing apart from you. As for the saints who are on the earth, they are the excellent ones in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied who hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood I will not offer, nor take up their names on my lips. O Lord, you are the portion of my inheritance and my cup. You maintain my lot. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places. Yes, I have a good inheritance. I will bless the Lord who has given me counsel. My heart also instructs me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad and my glory rejoices. My flesh also will rest in hope. For you will not leave my soul in Sheol, nor will you allow your Holy One to see corruption. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. So I hope that encourages you today, speaks to somebody. Don't know why I'm putting this out there for people, but I've just felt lately that there's just so much negative, that it'd be nice to have some more positive out there, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I hope if you're not, that you will have a good day. And take care. See you.